Oh, get him, dude! It feels like I'm gonna have to start making an introduction to these videos. So let's fucking get one! Alright, so the only reason why I'm talking about this is because Overwatch is a shit game. But I still enjoy it. And you can enjoy shit things. But that's a video for another day. So to clarify exactly what I'm about to talk about hitboxes and input lag. I'll explain what I'm going to ramble about and try to cover as much ground as I can with my issue relating towards these things. Basically, a hitbox is that invisible little shit that you have to hit that isn't exactly invisible. It's a variant of where a developer chooses a hitbox to exist. For example, feet picks, headshots, chest shots, and some even go far and beyond and let you shoot off Hitler's test tier 2. So what exactly does this have to do with input lag? Well, input lag is also an invisible variant that doesn't quite exist while actually existing and might be the only reason why you harbor so much hate towards a shooter that should be fun. So without getting off track, I'm going to talk about what is a good example of hitboxes and what is a horrible example of hitboxes. Alright, starting off, this kills me inside, but the Batman games and any game that follows this formula, beat 'em up, has a bad hitbox system. I'll explain why. Being the acrobatic 16-year-old that Bat bitch is, Bruce is able to pull off 2 Cao Caos and a triplet. While this is cool and all, it's a game design that's damaging when an enemy is holding an electric stick and Batman decides to do a homing kick straight into it because the hitbox decided to greenlit the enemy. To explain this, just think of a traffic light. When the enemies are out of range, the hitbox is red, meaning Batman won't land a successful hit, but when the lights are green, he'll flip faster than a pubescent teen alt-tabbing from pages.
Are you an insane?
This is actually an extremely common in shooters because in most cases, when you're out of range, the bullet would just cease to exist, indicating the lights are red and no go for bullets. But Batman is just bad. If you want to know terrible hitboxes, just play a round of Dead by Daylight. Alright, so what's an example of good hitboxes? Well, the closest thing to it is shooters and MOBAs, and especially turn-based RPGs, because you'll never miss in an RPG. But that has a lot to do with stats, more than anything. But stats aren't the topic of today, because you'll never miss where the hitboxes are intended to land. And how does input lag involve itself in this? Well, multiple ways. Take for example, you're playing something with a wireless controller. Your controller disconnects for a split second, whatever button press you input, now delayed, perhaps never even read. What about when you're playing online? Well, now that's where I intended to go around with this. While your hitbox is clear to the enemies, your input lag as a character is now causing you to miss while enemies seem to never miss shots. In short, hitboxes and input lag goes both ways for players and AI. Hey, here's a question. You ever played a couch co-op game with a friend or a sibling and both got a mutual experience of this is fun? Well, if you've ever used a Steam Remote Play or a special program called Parsec, you're able to get the same enjoyment online with a friend, but of course input lag exists. How bad is the lag? Well, sometimes input lag is a split second, meaning you'll just have to adjust the tank controls, while other times in a game like Cupboy, you need to be precise on movement because every hit costs a life. But this is just a repeat of what I was already saying. While your hitbox and input lag exist, enemies ignore the factor and can pinpoint your next move. So the point I'm trying to make here is what do we choose to blame? The input lag for causing us to miss and take a hit? Or the hitboxes not being 100% accurate to what we'd like them to be? It's a mixture of both, because not every game greenlits what is and isn't considered a hitbox. Some games even let you exploit the hitbox. And Mega Man, I'm not entirely sure who tested this, and if how many times I actually managed to beat this yellow fuck, but it's commonly known to just pause and unpause the game because the hitbox and projectile is messed up enough to continuously do damage. That pretty much wraps up this video. I could add a bit more detail and talk about how some hitboxes are big shiny red pulsating blobs to let players know exactly where to hit, because that's the objective of a weak spot. But I'll leave the video on that note, and with a statement towards Blizzard. Where in the fucking lore does it say Reinhardt Dash also includes a fucking magnet